Day 2 now of same-sex marriage debate. The Supreme Court is hearing for the legal recognition of same-sex marriage. That hearing is underway as we speak. The petitioners are seeking recognition of homosexual union as marriage under the provisions of Special Marriage Act, and also the plea demands to read marriage as a union between spouses instead of a man and woman. Meanwhile, the centre has filed a fresh affidavit asking the Supreme Court to make all the states and union territories in the country a party to the ongoing proceedings. Notably, on the first day of the Supreme Court hearing on the legal recognition for same-sex marriages, the top court said there is no absolute concept of a man or an absolute concept of a woman, and that gender is far more complex than one's genitals. Anisha is now joining us live for the latest. Anisha, very curious to know where the case really stands. So obviously this is being heard now, and the special bench has been constituted, I believe, that is hearing this entire matter out. And finally, all eyes on what the Supreme Court really ends up deciding, despite the centre going on to say that Supreme Court, please refrain yourself because this falls under the power of the legislation and not you.
Well, today is, of course, as you said, day 2 of this hearing. At the moment, Senior Advocate Mukul Rohatgi has concluded his arguments, and now Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi is presenting his arguments on behalf of the petitioners. Now, remember, for yesterday and in the first half of today, Mukul Rohatgi had presented arguments with regard to the issue of equality of LGBT persons with citizens of this country, that seeking that as equal citizens of the country, they should be given equal rights. Mr. Singhvi's line of argument is about not just recognition of marriage, but the other attendant issues that and rights that it creates. He was talking about the fact that a recognized married couple has the right to be a nominee in each other's bank accounts, in insurance, as well as take medical decisions. If one of the partners passes away, then they also have the right to receive the dead body. So what is being argued now is that marriage is not simply the label of marriage or the label of a spouse or a label of a union. It also has a lot of attendant rights involved in it. Another line of argument that is being raised by the petitioners is that this is not, as the government had said in its affidavit, that this is not an urban elitist concept. Most of the persons who are either homosexual or transgender have faced a lot of problems. In fact, one of the petitioners whose case was cited by Senior Advocate K.V. Vishwanath is someone who was thrown out of their house, had to live on the streets, work, and is now at a high position in a good company, and has in fact even been nominated to the Transgender Commission by the Government of India. So the petitioners are saying that the government is arguing without any statistics, without any data. There is nothing to show that LGBT persons are unequal to anyone else who is a citizen of the country, and therefore they should be given the same rights. Back to you.
Absolutely, Anisha. Thanks so much for those inputs right there. We're going to keep coming back to you for more on this particular story. All eyes are now on this particular hearing in the Supreme Court and what the Apex Court has to say on this particular issue.